So, are annuities a safe bet for your retirement? It is a massive question, and let me tell you, the answer is not a simple yes or no. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down what the experts are saying about the real risks and, of course, the real rewards.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. When we're talking about our retirement savings, the word safe isn't just a word, right? It's everything. So the big question is, can an annuity ever be 100% safe?
And the straight answer? Nope, they're not. But hold on, that doesn't mean they're unsafe. What it really means is that there are very specific risks you absolutely have to understand before you even think about putting your money in one. So let's unpack them.
Okay, so the first thing you've got to get is that annuity isn't just one thing. Not at all. They really exist on this whole spectrum of risk, kind of like a sliding scale, from super conservative all the way to, well, surprisingly aggressive.
And this chart really breaks it down for us. You see up at the top, in that high safety zone, you've got things like MYGAs, multi-year guaranteed annuities. They're pretty simple, pretty predictable. But as you move down the list, you get into variable and registered index-linked annuities, RILAs. And that's when your money gets tied to the market. But then look down at the bottom, that's a different beast entirely. The risk there isn't about the market, it's about liquidity. You're basically trading a lump sum of your cash for a guaranteed income stream. And this right here, this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. It doesn't matter which annuity you pick from that list. Your annuity is only, and I mean only, as safe as the insurance company that's backing it. If that company gets into trouble, so do all the promises they made to you. But it's not just about the market, you know. Even the so-called safest annuities have these other risks lurking under the surface, ones that can really catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. Let's take a look. So the experts really zero in on 4 big ones that you need to watch for. We're going to walk through each one so you know exactly what you're up against. All right, first up is credit risk. And honestly, this is the biggie. This is the nightmare scenario, right? The insurance company itself goes bust and just can't make its payments. This is precisely why choosing a financially sound company is so important. Then you've got purchasing power risk. And this one is sneaky. It's like a silent killer for your retirement savings. Your annuity might be paying you out exactly what it promised. But if inflation is roaring, that check you get buys less and less every single year. Okay, so we've talked about all the scary stuff. Now for the good news. There are actually several layers of protection built into the system, all designed to safeguard you and your money. You can think of them as your financial safety net. So your first and best line of defense is just picking a really strong insurance company. These are highly regulated businesses that tend to be pretty conservative with their investments. But, and this is a big but, no company is a fortress. They're all exposed to market conditions and, let's be honest, their own management decisions. So, how can you tell if a company is strong? Well, you look at their report card, basically. These are the financial strength ratings from agencies like AM Best or S&P. And the rule of thumb from the experts is super clear. Just don't even look at a company that's rated below A-. That little bit of extra interest you might get from a B-rated company, it's just not worth the risk. Now, this next point is absolutely critical, and it's where a lot of people get tripped up. You know how your bank account is FDIC insured? That's federal protection. Annuities? They don't have that. Their backstop comes from something called state guarantee associations. It's a whole different system. But here's the catch with that state-level protection. It has a cap, a hard limit. And while it can vary a bit state by state, that number is usually right around $250,000 per person, per company. That is a number you have to remember. If your annuity is worth more than that, anything over the cap is not guaranteed. All right, another layer of protection you can add is something called a rider. Think of it like an optional upgrade you can buy for your policy. A really popular one is the GLWB, the Guaranteed Lifetime Withdrawal Benefit. It's awesome because it can give you a paycheck for life, even if your account value goes to zero. But there's always a trade-off, right? These things aren't free. They come with extra fees, and this is key. They only protect your income stream, not the total nest egg in your account. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. The different types, the risks, the safety nets. So what's the bottom line? Where do these things really stand? Let's put it all into perspective. This chart really says it all, doesn't it? When the market goes into a nosedive, a simple fixed annuity is going to be your rock. Its risk is low because your money isn't actually in the market. But look over at the variable annuity. Its stability is low for a reason. It's tied directly to the market, so when the market falls, it falls too. That is the fundamental trade-off you're making.
So, look, even with all these protections in place, you gotta be realistic. This is not a foolproof system by any means. That state coverage cap we talked about might not be enough to cover your whole contract. If an insurer does fail, getting your money can be a slow process. And you have to be careful with those riders. You can accidentally do things that void the very guarantees you paid for. And that brings us right back to where we started. So, are annuities safe? Well, yeah, they're generally safer than a lot of other investments, but they are absolutely not risk-free. And I think the real takeaway here isn't just about the product, it's about you. The real question is, are you prepared for these risks? Because taking the time to understand all these details, that is the only true guarantee you'll ever have.